Hello, today we have two short stories. First story. Am I the A for telling my son he needs to get over his ex? I have a 26-year-old son named Dylan, who was married to Miranda for 5 years. As I only have sons, I considered Miranda a daughter. She was a wonderful wife, funny, respectful, and caring. Over a year ago, Miranda came to me in tears, revealing that Dylan was cheating on her with a girl from high school. The worst part was that Miranda was 5 months pregnant with twins. I advised her to file for divorce, recalling how I regretted not doing the same when my first husband cheated on me. Miranda quickly found a lawyer and started the divorce process. Dylan seemed indifferent but eventually signed the papers under his father's pressure. Dylan soon moved on with Lily, the girl from high school, whom I disliked immediately. She did drugs, was lazy, and rude to everyone, disguising her behavior as bluntness. At my granddaughter's first birthday, Dylan showed up with Lily, and Miranda came with her new boyfriend, Landon. Dylan had claimed he cheated because Miranda was gaining weight, but she had since lost the baby weight and gotten in great shape thanks to Landon, her trainer and now boyfriend of 7 months. Landon is a sweet guy and a better man than my son. Lily criticized Miranda for wearing a crop top as a mother, which I overheard. I defended Miranda, saying she was young, fit, and only 25, so it suited her. Lily ran to Dylan, claiming I called her fat. He ignored it, not wanting trouble. Dylan spent the day staring at Landon, and my oldest son told me that Dylan wasn't happy with Lily but felt he had to stay with her to prove a point. Things took a turn when my niece, Miranda's best friend, jokingly suggested Miranda must be pregnant when she refused a drink. Miranda's reaction confirmed it, and we all started congratulating her. Then Dylan screamed, "You got to be kidding me." He ranted about how Miranda didn't even know Landon and accused her of throwing everything away for a fling. In the chaos, Lily punched Miranda, leading my niece to intervene, and Lily ended up in jail. The party ended abruptly, and later, we found Dylan crying on the couch. My husband grabbed him and told him he brought this mess upon himself, and crying now showed cowardice. Dylan admitted he knew he had ruined everything but thought he had time for a second chance. I harshly told him he was a disgrace and that he got what he deserved, then ordered him to leave my house and not return until Miranda accepted his apology. My 3 older sons heard what I said. The 2 eldest agreed but thought I could have been kinder. My youngest felt I shouldn't have said anything while Dylan was at his lowest. I later heard that since Miranda pressed charges, Lily remained in jail because Dylan refused to bail her out. Update. After reading the comments, I realized I was wrong in how I spoke to Dylan. This morning, I visited his apartment. Though everything was clean, it was clear he hadn't moved from his spot in the bedroom. I hugged and kissed him, apologizing for being too harsh. He hugged me back and apologized too. We had breakfast together, and he told me everything that happened this week. Dylan had apologized to Miranda and expressed his desire to formally meet Landon if he was going to be around the girls. They agreed, provided Lily was not involved. Dylan then explained that he broke up with Lily. She had seen a judge who gave her a warning and a slap on the wrist, so no jail time. However, Miranda is taking her to civil court, and Dylan said he would testify on Miranda's behalf. I told him this showed a lot of growth and asked if he would be willing to go to therapy. He agreed to try it, so we spent the morning looking for a therapist. Things are starting to look up, I guess. Second story. I, 29F, told my husband, 27M, I might not want to sleep with him if he gets a tattoo. Tonight, my husband mentioned that he's thinking about getting a large tattoo to cover part of his arm that he's self-conscious about. I have always hated tattoos, they are a major turnoff for me. Initially, I stayed silent, trying to process what he had said. Eventually, I told him, "It's your body, and I won't stop you." He pressed further, wanting to know what I genuinely thought. Reluctantly, I admitted that I liked his body exactly the way it is and that if he got a tattoo, I would find him less attractive. He reassured me that I didn't need to decide right away, as he was only considering it for a few years down the line. I simply said okay, feeling a knot of anxiety form in my stomach. The rest of the evening, I felt down, unable to shake the thought of him getting this tattoo. I knew I had no right to stop him, but the idea deeply bothered me. Sensing my mood, my husband asked if I was upset about the tattoo. I said yes. He didn't understand why it was ruining my night since it was something he might do in the future, not something immediate. I explained that if he decided to get it, I wouldn't be able to stop him, and I was afraid that I might no longer find him attractive, which could ruin our sex life. It's not something he can easily remove if it becomes a problem. He felt my comment was mean and uncalled for. I tried to explain that it was a legitimate concern and that he had asked what was bothering me. Now, he's really upset, and I'm upset, and we're both miserable. How do I fix this? Later, I added some context. I was assaulted by someone who had a tattoo in the same place my husband wants one. Ever since then, tattoos have made me uncomfortable. That's why I'm worried I won't be attracted to him anymore, not because he won't look the same or because I think tattoos are inherently ugly. I haven't told my husband about the assault, which is why I initially left it out. Update. The next day, I decided I needed to tell my husband everything, the assault, why I'm worried about the tattoo, all of it. Summoning my courage, I sat him down and started to talk. As I spoke, my anxiety grew, and I had an anxiety attack, but I managed to make it through. I told him about the assault and how the tattoo might trigger those traumatic memories. He listened patiently, his expression softening with understanding. We talked for a long time. He reassured me that my feelings were valid and that he didn't want to do anything that would make me feel unsafe. We agreed that if he still wanted a tattoo, he would try a temporary one first to see if it triggered my trauma. If it did, he promised he wouldn't get a permanent one. He said, covering my insecurity isn't more important than you feeling safe. I felt a wave of relief and gratitude. I was glad I told him because I didn't like hiding something so significant from him, and his reaction was better than I had hoped. However, sharing this deeply personal experience after years of not telling anyone reopened old wounds, making the trauma feel more real and immediate. To everyone who believes there's a right way to handle the aftermath of being the victim of a violent crime, I urge you to stop. Therapy helped me with some things but not others. Therapy isn't a magic wand that suddenly makes everything okay. I still have triggers and might have them for years to come. That doesn't make me a bad person or someone undeserving of my husband's love. When I first came to this sub seeking advice, I was met with shaming. Many of you don't know how much I cried over your comments, thinking I was a crazy, manipulative wife, fearing my husband would leave me over something beyond my control. I will never come here for advice again. I hope you all show your spouses more empathy than you showed me. To everyone who tried to help and understand, thank you. Your support meant the world to me. And a special thank you to those who reached out in private messages, offering support and sharing your own personal stories. Your kindness and empathy have been a source of strength for me during this difficult time. In the days following our conversation, my husband and I grew closer. He was more attentive and reassuring, which helped ease my anxiety. We began researching temporary tattoos, and he even suggested we do it together, making it a fun and supportive experience. This gesture showed me how much he cared about my feelings and our relationship. We also decided to start couples therapy to work through this and other issues together. This decision was mutual and felt like a positive step forward. It gave me hope that we could navigate this challenge as a team, with understanding and compassion. Our journey hasn't been easy, but we've taken the first steps towards healing and understanding. While the future is uncertain, I feel more confident that we can face it together, stronger than before.